Hi, I'm Erin. I'm a realtor with Long Realty, and I am here today with Wyatt Chambers, who is owner, founder of CS Design Studios. How are you today?
I'm doing good.
Good. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today.
Okay.
So of course it's kind of funny because this was the plan, and what ends up happening, we end up talking for 45 minutes before this interview, and he gives me some great advice on my own business. So thanks for that.
You're welcome.
So I would love to find out more about what it is you do. So what does CS stand for?
Well, it's stood for a lot of different things over the years, but I like to think of creative services. We're creative people, but we really pride ourselves on providing results.
Perfect. And what exactly is it that you do?
We started off primarily as a web design company, and that kind of morphed over the years. Now I would say that we're a digital marketing agency, which takes on a wide variety of things that we do. But it's all part and parcel of helping people be visible online and to produce revenue.
And boy, is that important these days.
It is.
It's, and I think I was going to actually ask you this earlier, but the pandemic I think has really kind of put a spin on this as well.
Yes, it has.
So like, what have you seen change from maybe before to now? Because it just seems like
a lot.
Everything.
A lot. I mean, I think for a lot of businesses, we've watched a lot in Tucson actually go out of business.
Yeah.
And then we've seen some thrive. I know that we have a case study that we worked on. I think you interviewed Best Friends.
Yes.
That we started off at ground zero, and we would say that a majority of the success there was digital marketing.
Wow. Where
did people go to find the services, tied into reputation, a lot of things that we provide, and probably was one of the funnest projects I've had a chance to work on today.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They're great. And I just also love how they are really specific to areas.
Yes.
And that person or the people that work in that area are really involved in their community, which I think is just so important. And I do think that we, with the pandemic, I think that we really, have really decided that community is so important, and we should have always known this, but it just seems like it's kind of thrown it out there. So
absolutely, yeah. Giving back to the community has always been huge.
Yeah.
I know I serve on a couple boards, and I think that just giving back.
Yeah.
I grew up here, born and raised.
One of the few. That's what I was telling you. Not that many.
I went to the University of Arizona.
Yeah.
Had a chance to, get involved with some things that have been fun.
Yeah.
It adds purpose. Yeah, for sure.
What's fun is this office.
Thank you.
This office, it's crazy. I'm gonna have to take a couple pictures, and hopefully Ren, our mutual buddy, can kind of put it all together. But it's like you're walking into, you're literally in the Star Wars movie.
Yes, yeah.
With a little Tron added in there.
Yes, I mean, we try to, grab creatives, and it seems like everybody in our office identifies with either Star Wars, Star Trek, Tron is one of my favorites.
Yes.
And I worked on this arcade. You can't see it. Maybe she'll include some pictures.
I will for sure.
But the arcade, that was my project during the pandemic.
I love it.
Because no one was here. Yeah. Everybody actually returns to work next week.
Yay! Yeah, that just shows how far we've come.
And, and now we have a full arcade ball. So hopefully we'll be playing some games and create some company culture with it.
It was so funny because we had our meeting here for Best Friends because we're in a networking group, and we're trying to talk, and the machine, I think it was Asteroids, one of them was just making all these crazy noises. It was amazing. So what would your ideal client look like?
I think that my ideal client is one that needs our help, but has been in business. So they know the rigors of some marketing, and usually can size that up pretty quick if I can help them or not, by just looking at things like how many Google reviews do they have, where are they positioned on search when things come up. It's nice to look at a client that wants to grow their business, and maybe they're not getting anywhere with traditional methods.
Yep.
And even some of the digital methods don't all work. It depends on what they're in and where their customer is. Yep. So it's kind of a puzzle piece, puzzle pieces that come together. And, so the ideal client, we like to offer exclusives and look for ones that are really wanting to grow. So hopefully that helps define what we're looking for.
Definitely. Well, like we were talking about me being a realtor, it's kind of a weird thing. You're kind of on your own, but yet, you still need those pieces and of the puzzle that kind of help you grow. Because obviously I can't do everything. And I have kind of my things that I'm special, I can specialize in, but it is like having somebody like you on my team or for a company to have, that piece of the puzzle, I think is just, so important.
Absolutely.
So of course, like if somebody wanted to find out more about you, what would they do? Would they go to your website?
Well, a lot of what happens is people find us on Google.
Yes.
We've actually been one of the longest standing Google partners. Used to be called Google Agency. We've actually done Google events.
Wow.
And so when people are looking for us, either they're looking for an SEO provider or a digital marketing agency, or maybe somebody just to build a website.
Yeah.
And another piece of it that we started with was doing web management.
Okay.
Where they don't want to hire a team of 5 or 6 to do what we do as a team, nor do they need them full time.
Yeah.
So that's when usually people reach out to us where they've had either frustration because they haven't been able to find those teams, and they need ongoing support. This digital engine is constantly changing.
It is.
So, and you know what's nice is, even talking to you about your own business, is we knew the same person.
Yeah.
You're using them. And it's nice. I mean, we have a lot of peers. You know, a lot of people will say, well, that's a competition. It's like, no, we're all peers here.
Yep.
And Tucson doesn't have enough of us. And there's a big pull of people that think they know what they're doing, and sometimes will hurt businesses. Like one thing I'd put out there is, if you don't have 100 reviews for your business, get there quick.
That's my goal today.
Yes.
Is to get on that.
Yes. Get to 100 reviews. I say that because that's going to impact your bottom line. A lot of people don't look at their reputation until it's too late. It's already impacting their financials, or they're being pushed down the list.
Wow.
They're not coming up or popping as much because Google is ranking on what? Your reputation and where you are in proximity. How close are you to the business when you're looking on your cell phone? These are things that a lot of people take for granted because maybe they don't know who to talk to. And so we're gonna be doing a lot of education on Google My Business on our own website. We're gonna be posting our own videos about that. And there's some other vendors here in Tucson that are doing the same thing. So Google My Business is where it's at. For local search for goods, needs, and services.
Wow.
I want to keep on top of that.
It's amazing how much. I mean, truly. I mean, it's overwhelming, to be honest, and that's why there's people like you out there. Because like for me, I do so much, but then it's like a rabbit hole. Like I'm there, and it takes away from me doing real estate. You know, so it's really nice to be able to have that as part of my team. You know, like we talked about Ren, she's part of my team.
Yes.
Because as a, you know, obviously an independent person, you have to be everything. You know, HR, you know, your social media, your, you know,
doing a lot of hats, right?
Everything.
Yeah.
And if you can find people that can kind of fill those roles, you know, and it's worth it because it's just going to help grow your business more.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things that you can't really outsource is your reputation. And I think that just educating business owners, whether they use us or not, of how can you watch out for certain things. Competition's out there, and sometimes what happens if you get bad reviews, you don't know where they came from. You got to be able to dispute them, get rid of them, or be able to respond to them in a way that makes sense. Or how do you educate your own team as your business grows, how you can do a better job. You know, and so there's a lot of different strategies and methods there that we continue to see that impact businesses, and definitely it's a place where we've been playing for a while.
And one thing I learned today is that you should put away 5% of your gross revenue towards
digital marketing.
Absolutely. I think it's absolutely necessary. People probably don't, you know, you still have people probably stuck in paper advertising in their minds. You know, it's not where it's at. I know if I go to look for a business, I'm literally looking at all of your sites. So I'm looking at your, you know, Facebook, your Instagram, your Google, your LinkedIn. So that's why, and then that's another tip, you know, is even if you're not 100% maybe on it all the time, make sure you have these things active, right? I mean, there are some things that some venues where it's more, you want to get more into it than others. But Google is one, obviously they're kind of driving the bus. And so being a game player there, does it make sense to use Facebook? Does it make sense to use LinkedIn? You know, you got to make those decisions as you go along. Is it business to business? Is it business to consumer? All that comes into making those decisions for sure. That's great information. So now, go ahead and tell me your website address.
It's www.csdesignstudios.com.
And this is where Ren is going to put it right above your head in the editing. It'll be amazing.
Awesome, Ren. Do a good job.
And then also, so if somebody wants to get in touch with you, what would what would the best way to be? To go to the website, call you?
Website is good. We have a form there that people will fill out and get to us, but always welcome to call. Somebody answers the phone, either or.
It's awesome. So I just want to thank you so much for this, and I am definitely planning on taking some photos of this crazy awesome place. Like it's pretty cool. I wish I could run out a little space and work here. But
well, I appreciate you coming down and taking the time for the interview. I love what you do. It's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Keep it up. The community needs more of this.
I love it. Okay, so I guess till next time. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Bye.